this really was something that in the very first week of lockdown, I thought to myself, I'd love to see inside everyone's mind, inside everyone's home right now. You know, all these fantastic creative people, writers, filmmakers, you know, how are they channeling this energy? And so I kind of almost saw it as like 100 windows on the minds and homes of people around the world, and it's kind of come from that, I guess.
I think you're going to be happy with it.
Time passes so quickly, and you know, even in the creative world and the art world, where things, where people are very interested in change, you know, things can be quite conservative. And suddenly this moment came along and kind of broke things up, and everyone had an opportunity to kind of step back, pause, and think about things. We thought that was really important to capture. It's not just about the lockdown, you know, it's also about the broader environment. I think this is a period, even now that lockdown is easing, where people still feel a tremendous sense of uncertainty, a possibility of change, which is really exciting, but also some anxiety about what comes next. And we've tried to capture all of that in the magazine, both the good and the bad, and just have a really kind of a cross-section of how creative and artistic people are thinking and feeling right now, all around the world. Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've kind of turned the traditional model on its head, you know. We've built this as a profit share, so everyone who's taking part is either donating their work so that other people can get paid, or are contributing to kind of own part of the magazine themselves. So every pound that gets spent on an issue or that comes in from advertising is distributed throughout our staff and our contributor list, which is quite different. It obviously kind of flips things around. It's kind of an experiment in socialism, I guess, on some level, and definitely new, but it's kind of had an incredible energy to it. I think when people feel like they're really part of something, part of a community, that they have some ownership as well, it generates a really different relationship. So it's not about kind of commissioning a piece of work in a very traditional way. It's about kind of giving people a blank canvas and saying, you're part of this, what do you have to say about this moment? And that's really created kind of amazing results, I think. The world of art and creativity is often a space where people work in unconventional ways, not always through full employment, not structured as kind of self-employed, and so a lot of people fell through the gaps. A lot of artists, writers, you know, weren't set up to receive support. I mean, I know for my own part, I wasn't able to get any help from the government when my business fell through. So we definitely felt like we had to do something ourselves. We had to find a way to support our community from the ground up. The idea of the title, LIMBO, was very much about what we've been through, but also about what we're still feeling. You know, our industry, our space will be in limbo for some time to come. And so, you know, again, there are positives to that. It gives you a chance to rethink things and to try to move forward in a different way. But it's also a period of real worry for a lot of our friends, a lot of our contributors, a lot of people in this space. And I guess this was our small way of trying to help with that. And, you know, if this carries on, we might have to do a second issue. So we'll see how it goes.
Right. That's to match that on the inside. And then you've had a flip lily.
Yeah, we'll just redo the
imagery. And the foil's going to be nice.
So this.
That's really nice. And then have we done the barcode in all four of them?
Yeah. Really cool. So the trim will come in here. So the limbo repeat on the spine just trims off there.
Yeah.
And then we've got all 100 or so contributors' names on the back, and a big glossy foil is going to go on here. So a lot of the work in LIMBO itself is a visual representation and a snapshot of everybody in isolation around the world. So the mediums that we're seeing in here, screen grabs of people's work, you know, portraits taken, stills from Zoom, photographers working by projecting, you know, existing video onto walls and shooting it. Even some of the way that writers and photographers and illustrators are working together collectively is all digital, and this is a record of that creative process.